Last night, at exactly this time on India Upfront, we brought you face to face with the truth that lurks behind the rhetoric in anti-Hindu hate hub or Hot. We brought you a venomous video that may well have been scripted by the founder of Pakistan demanding the ouster of Aryans, code for caste Hindus, from this pocket of Bengal that has been singed by a devastating communal fire. This was that video that we played out yesterday. Remember, we also spoke to the individual who filmed this video, and he came out and underlined its authenticity. Listen to this video once again. We also showed you insightful WhatsApp messages doing the rounds, like the ones on your screens, on an allegedly RSS-linked website that seemed to suggest that Muslims in the area were sworn to the idea of Pakistan. So on both sides, provocation has been extreme. That's right. But tonight, we will reveal a conversation with a young man who has lost his father. This young man claims his father was lynched during the riots that broke out after an objectionable post was put up on the Facebook page of a teenager. That teenager, of course, is being prosecuted. We've sanitized the audio so as to eliminate communal references in public interest. But pay close attention as this individual talks about what no one else is telling you. No one else is prepared to reveal to you from this hate hub in this small pocket of West Bengal. Listen very closely.
আমি টাইমস নাও থেকে সোহাম বলছি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
বলছি যে আপনি কার্তিক ঘোষের ছেলে তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
তো আপনার বাবা কি এই যে আপনার বাবা কিভাবে মারা গেল?
ওটা কালকে 2টো নাগাদ আমার বাবা আসছিলেন ওই পিফা ওই দিক দিয়ে, ওখানে সে পাইপ করে নাগাদ ওখানে আসলে তার আগে ট্যাটা এসে ভাঙচুর করে আমাদের বাড়ির ট্যাটাতে বসিরহাট মিউনিসিপ্যালিটি 20 নম্বর ওয়ার্ডে। উনি আসছিলেন, ওনাকে দেখে উনি পরিচিত লোক।
আচ্ছা,
তারপরে আমরা খবর পাই যে উনি ওখানে পড়ে আছেন, যেতে পারিনি। 1.5 ঘন্টা পরে গিয়ে একটা অ্যাম্বুলেন্সের সাহায্যে নিয়ে ওনাকে বসিরহাট হাসপাতাল থেকে আরজি করে নিয়ে আসি। আরজির এখানে আজকে 6:45-এ এক্সপায়ার করে।
আচ্ছা, বলছি ওই যারা মেরেছে আপনার কি মনে হয় ওরা জানতেন যে আপনার বাবা এরকম রাষ্ট্রীয় স্বয়ংসেবক সংঘের সাথে যুক্ত?
না না না, আমার বাবা তো ওসব কিছু করেন না, উনি তো নিউট্রাল লোক।
আচ্ছা, তো কেন মারলেন? কেন, মানে কি দেখে মারলেন?
ওখানে চলছে।
আচ্ছা, তো আপনার বাবাকে কেন মারলেন?
আমার বাবা একদিন।
আচ্ছা, আপনারা কি এফআইআর করেছেন থানায়?
না, থানায় এফআইআর করেনি, সময় পাইনি দাদা। ওখান থেকে হাসপাতাল থেকে আরজি কর।
আচ্ছা, এখানে আপনারা কি এখন থানায় আছেন?
থানায় আছে।
আচ্ছা, আপনারা কি এফআইআর করবেন?
এফআইআর বলতে আমি এখন বডির প্রসেসিংটা কাজ করে শেষ করে দিই।
The conversation you just heard was recorded just before this man entered a police station in Kolkata, where an army of TMC leaders have now escorted him out of the public glare. That's the man. His father, he claims, was lynched. Why, we ask, is there an attempt at covering up what could be an act of murder or worse, mob lynching? Would the so-called secular lobby have reacted with apathy that is on display today had the victim, God forbid, been a Muslim lynched by a Hindu mob? This has happened in this country. It has been happening over the last few weeks, and we have seen the response. The so-called secular lobby has come out onto the streets, held matches, have questioned, written articles. Some of them even have returned their medals or their trophies or their certificates of merit or what have you in protest. So I ask tonight, why this disparity? Don't rights of Hindus count in Mamata's Bengal or in this country anymore? Is the majority to stay silent? I want, for just 2 minutes, your time as I establish some hard facts, because there has been selectiveness in the manner in which the TMC has been addressing incidents in the state of West Bengal. All incidents, let me tell you, are condemnable, especially of interfaith violence. Whether it's Hindus or Muslims, must be equally condemned, and condemned with the same vigor that you would reserve when you would argue for the human rights of any individual, irrespective of his caste, creed, religion, what have you. But that has not been the case. And I want us to go over some hard facts, because I don't steer away from the hard facts on India Upfront. Let's look at the example of the Dulaghar riots. In 2016, there were clashes. There was looting. Houses and shops were burnt down. 51 people were arrested. But West Bengal Chief Minister downplayed the violence and labelled it as politics by the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is not the case when there is incident of rioting in other states of the Union. Hard fact too, in Malda in 2016, there was a violent backlash by Muslims to a hate speech by a fringe element. But what Didi called it was a clash between BSF and locals, and said that it's not communal in nature. Hard fact 3. In Bashirhat, riots and tensions continued to simmer for 3 days. One man has been killed in communal violence, but Mamata Banerjee says that everything is under control and instead blames the governor. There are other instances and facts. For example, Maulana Nurur Rahman Barkati. We all have heard of him. He's a fiery cleric, and he's aligned, or at least proclaims that he is aligned to the TMC and receives their patronage. On January 7th, Barkati had issued a fatwa against the Prime Minister of the country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and offered a reward of 25 lakhs to anyone who would, and I'm quoting him, cut off the Prime Minister's beard, shave his head, and smear him with black ink. The fatwa was issued at a meeting chaired by Idris Ali at the Kolkata Press Club. Full glare of the media. Nothing has happened to Barkati. Nothing. Had this been someone on the other side of the spectrum, and had he been talking about perhaps a leader of the TMC or anyone else in office in West Bengal, the reaction would have been one of absolute uproariousness. There would have been a furore, and the person would have been arrested and thrown into jail. But not Maulana Nurur Rahman Barkati. There are several such instances, and I could go on and on, at least 10 in front of me. But I don't want to dwell on that, because this debate goes beyond just the state of West Bengal. We will focus today on the duplicity of this so-called secular brigade. And I want to go across to our reporters. I think we have already with us Shreyashi. Shreyashi, you have been at the police station. Now, we were lucky enough to be able to speak to this young man whose father was allegedly lynched to death. At least that's what he's claiming. But somehow the victim's son has been cloaked by a coterie of TMC leaders. And even you, who has been there since the morning, are not getting access. Tell us a little bit about why you think this man has been squirreled away, and what is the police doing? Because I'm sure this individual, as he told us, wants to file an FIR. Have the police registered it? Are they going to probe this?
That's exactly what we asked the police this afternoon when we were there standing outside the police station We saw the victim's son being brought inside the police station. We immediately went inside the police station to speak to the victim's son. The policeman immediately came out and asked me questions regarding where I am from, why have I come here, why do I want to speak to the man. I answered all those questions, and immediately he told us, please go outside and stand. You are not allowed to stand here. The CCTVs are on. We cannot let you we can't let you to continue standing here. We immediately went outside the police station. We did not create a scene. We didn't do anything. Immediately, about 5 to 10 minutes later, we see a local TMC leader who came into the police station at that moment and immediately went right inside the police station. And this is not even the waiting area of the police station, but inside the police station. When he came out, he gave us a narrative about how he's come here to discuss the Wi-Fi, the internet that's not working in Boshirhat. We told him that it's your state that has imposed Section 144. He didn't know what to answer. He sounded confused. He said, I have not come here to meet the family. While we knew that the son was sitting inside the police station, but the TMC leader said he feigned ignorance and he pretended like he doesn't know that the son was inside the police station. After that, the son was made to meet the TMC leader outside the police station. He comes out escorted by 2 policemen on either side. He meets the TMC leader, who rolls down his car window, speaks to him. And the moment we start asking the police questions as to why he has been taken into custody, why he's not being allowed to speak to the media, and why has the TMC leader come here, there was no answer from the Kolkata police. Instead, they told us to immediately leave. They manhandled us and they pushed us out. About 4 policemen came charging towards us, and he asked us to leave immediately. And then they shut the door of the police station.
Why? Why would they do that? Shreyasi, why would they do that? Why don't they want the truth to surface? Is there pressure? And I'm not trying to lead you into giving me an answer. Is there pressure? Or is it because they're scared of the consequences? Because if this is turned into what at least is alleged to be a lynching case, there might be reprisals. Is that the reason why they're trying to damp down the situation, or is it because they're under pressure?
So while this situation was unfolding in the police station, about 5 minutes away was the hospital where this father's body was kept, who succumbed to his injuries this morning. And there was a BJP versus TMC that was unfolding at the hospital simultaneously when this man was being kept in the police station. When we asked the police why they were not speaking to us, why they were not letting us speak to the victim, they said, we want him to rest. That is what the excuse the police gave. But when we tried asking them what the issue was, it's been over hours. Why has the son been kept here when his father's body is yet to be claimed at the hospital morgue? They had no questions. And
so you're saying the body also hasn't been released as yet to the family? The body remains in the morgue?
No, that wasn't released. The police told us there are some post-mortem formalities that need to be completed. He is taking rest here because the situation over at the hospital is not fine. So we are keeping him here to rest, is what the police told us off record, which is on the spy cam. Then when at around 4:30, the TMC leader, the local TMC leader, who said he had earlier come here to discuss the internet issue in Boshirhat, comes back to the police station, and we ask him, why is he here? Then he tells us that I've come to meet the son. He's asked us for help. We are here to help him out. I'm looking into the probe, what is happening. I'm waiting for papers to come in from Boshirhat. We asked him, why is he here? This is what he told us. And immediately, half an hour later, a TMC minister, the food minister of West Bengal, followed by his security men, walked inside the police station. And the police station was turned into a fortress. All the gates were shut. Media was pushed out of the area. The doors were locked. And that's when we started asking that why are TMC leaders making a beeline to the police station where a man is waiting to complete the formalities of his father, who's in the hospital morgue, who has succumbed to injuries that were inflicted on him during the communal clashes in West Bengal. But the police had no answers. They refused to speak to us, and when we tried speaking to them is when they pushed us out of the police station.
Well, Shreyasi, stay on, because I'll come back to you in about 10 or 12 minutes to seek more clarifications. But do stay on. I just want to introduce our panel. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the Bharatiya Janata Party is here with us. Our Rajgopalan, senior journalist, Colonel RSN, stays with us for continuity from yesterday's interaction and debate. Rahul Ishwar, Hindu rights activist. Devashri Jajaria, core team member of the NCAML. From Noida, also with us is Professor Somnath Singh Roy, TMC supporter, and Mahmood Paracha, senior lawyer. I want to first come straight out to Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. The charge, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, that is being leveled against the Bharatiya Janata Party this evening by the TMC is straightforward. That this is a case that is being exaggerated, blown out of proportion. It's a small law and order problem, and you are giving it a communal tinge, color, what have you, to score a few brownie points with your Hindu vote base and consolidate it.
As far as giving a communal color to the politics of West Bengal is concerned, I would just like to remind this is the same government which has kept mum on Malda. This is the same government which has decided to give salary only to imams, to one community. Why not to Sikh Granthis or archbishops or Hindu pujaris? This is the same government which appoints a Muslim as a chief of a development authority of a Devasthan. Why? This is the same government which tries to impose Urdu, even on the Bengali identity. This is the same government which consistently supports Bangladeshi infiltrators, for which Supreme Court of India in 2007 has said, which amounts to external aggression over India. This is the same government which says that the Durga Puja procession should be stopped or halted just to pave the way for Muharram. If you are having such a lopsided, consistent policy since several years, then the result which is coming, and still at this point, instead of giving proper attention and taking full control over the situation, they are in habit of blaming one or the other, even to the constitutional authority like governor. As far as our government is concerned, we are fully sensitive, and we have provided all support of central paramilitary forces as required by the state government.
So you reject the charge?
It's quite clear. They are from the...
So you reject the charge. You're saying that it's actually minority appeasement that's holding back Mamata Banerjee.
I don't reject the charge. I put the charge.
Okay.
That this is a blatant, mean vote bank politics which is deteriorating the communal atmosphere in West Bengal just for the sake of power.
Okay. Okay. Let me bring in Devashri Jajaria. Devashri Jajaria, let's look a little beyond, because some people will say that there is a consistent thread. So-called secularists keep quiet when the majority community is being targeted. We saw that with Kashmiri Hindus. We have seen it now with Hindus in certain pockets of West Bengal. We're seeing it when it comes to, obviously, communally motivated killings of certain Hindus, Sangh activists, etc., BJP workers, even in Kerala. The instances are too many to recount here. And I want to ask you, sir, because I remember you were here, I think, last week on my show, and you were very vociferous in condemning communal violence of any nature. And you were supportive of the Not In My Name protest, saying that it is a protest that was needed. And I agree with you, it was. But why is it that Not In My Name organizers or others who have taken out marches, why are they silent today? And is that perhaps the reason why the TMC can come out with blithe responses like, oh, this is, you know, just a law and order situation?
First of all, I want to clarify that I am not in the organizing team of Not In My Name campaign.
I agree with you.
Second thing, we condemn all type of...
I called you a core team member of the NCA.
all type of violence, especially mob violence. We have been continuously saying that we are against mob violence.
Before we begin on a wrong note, I introduced you as the core team member of the NCAML, and I only said that you were here last week
let me
defending...
pronounce the full form. National Campaign Against Mob Lynching.
Yeah, okay, great. So there is...
Okay.
So let me... One second.
Let me clarify my stand as...
Yes, Mr. Jajaria. I'm only asking you, where is the national campaign today against what could be and what seems to be? We have no reasons to doubt this young man about the lynching of his father.
Rahul, let me clarify my stand. Tomorrow we are going to unveil the law against mob lynching, that is Masuka, Manav Suraksha Kanun.
So talk about
we are
today,
very specific.
talk about
it's
yesterday.
not neither it's Hindu Suraksha Kanun or Muslim Suraksha Kanun or Dalit Suraksha Kanun or Adivasi Suraksha Kanun.
Where
it is clearly mentioned
Jajaria, the
Kanun.
core team member of the National Alliance Against Mob Lynching? Why did you not hold a protest in West Bengal yesterday on the ground in Calcutta outside the writers' building?
We are organizing.
Simple question.
We are organizing an event here in Delhi. Tomorrow, please come.
My dear man, this event was planned. This event was planned weeks in advance. You had sent out mailers to us. This has nothing to do with what is happening. You know what I'm saying. This is part of an very... No, one second. You are absolutely within your rights. Excuse me, sir. You are within your rights to come up with any bill, to push for any bill, and I hope that you are able to get this done. All I'm asking you is, where is the NCAML? Where are the candlelight marches
social media
for the father of this young man who has been lynched?
You can check our Twitter page. We have condemned all these incidents in Bengal.
Mr. Jararia, I am asking you, please. Where is the candlelight march? Where are you today? Not in my name, with my name, not in someone else's name, whatever you want to call it.
We are giving a law. Today? What you want? We are giving a law. The logical end of a march is what we are giving tomorrow.
Yeah, I can see that, sir. I can see
tomorrow
that.
We are launching a law against all these incidents. Please ask the BJP government. Please ask the BJP government to implement this law.
What you're saying is not measuring up. Why do you believe, Colonel RSN, that Mr. Jararia is not actually being very forthcoming tonight? Why is he so defensive?
No, I
am not defensive at all. I am not defensive at all.
His march and his proposed bill will from tomorrow onwards, whenever they are planning to have that congregation, after that lynching will stop, isn't it? That is his case. But listen, the problem is far more fundamental. And the problem is that the West Bengal has been experiencing an endemic of communal violence ever since this new government has come, or even before that. Now let me tell you, it has got clear anti-Hindu bias. And
is it about only Hindu-Muslim?
There is subordination, there is ethnic...
It is
ethnic cleansing. It is ethnic cleansing. It is worse than lynching. It is worse than lynching, and we will not allow another Kashmir.
Okay, then what about Dalits?
Wherever it is.
Then what about Dalits in Saharanpur? What about Dalits in Saharanpur? What about Adivasis? What about farmers in Madhya Pradesh? Please tell me.
What Dalit? What Dalit?
You are very selective.
Which
Hindus don't count.
You are talking about?
Saharanpur mein Dalit don't count.
Which segment of Dalit you are talking about?
Adivasi don't count. Farmers don't count.
About which segment of Dalit?
You are very selective. You are
just now you
are dividing this country on the communal lines.
Listen, you
No, you are saying the same thing, that it is an ethnic divide. No, it's not. It's just selectivism.
Listen, I know.
It's your selectivism.
How are you? How and your gang?
Sir, मैं किसी के पैसों पे नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ.
And who is financing you? I know that.
Prove it. I challenge you. Prove it. पैसों का आरोप लगा रहा है. Prove it.
What challenge to prove it? I was talking. You were talking suddenly about lynching. Now you are talking about Dalits. Now you are talking about something else, and you are saying that I am being divided.
Why? The incident of Saharanpur are not comes under lynching. Una doesn't come under lynching.
Do you know?
Sir, you don't have answers. You don't have answers to my questions. Please tell me, Una doesn't come under lynching. Saharanpur doesn't come under lynching. If that time Dalits don't count, why Hindus don't count? Hashtag is there.
No, he asked me a simple question because we don't see the same empathy and sympathy for what happened in West Bengal.
What is your... सर आप मेजर किससे कर रहे हैं? What is your measuring criteria? हमारी एम्पैथी को मेजर करने का क्राइटेरिया क्या है आपका?
सुनो, तुम्हारी हकीकत,
आपका क्राइटेरिया क्या है? Why you are not holding a protest in West Bengal? I am asking you.
Okay, one second, gentlemen.
Why you are not holding a protest?
Gentlemen, one second. Let me come in. I'll tell you why.
Hold a protest in West Bengal.
I'll tell you why. If you were to hold a protest, if Colonel RSN and company were to hold a... No, one second.
And I know you want to wreck this country.
Yeah, gentlemen, one second, please. Gentlemen, one second. You see, there are problems.
मैं दलित community से belong करता हूँ, sir.
How many?
मैं दलित community से belong करता हूँ.
Mr.
पर मैं आप
Colonel RSN, Mr. Jajaria,
दलित don't count.
Jajaria, 1 second, please. Both of you gentlemen, please. 1 second, calm down. I want to bring in a man who is steeped in religiosity, Rahul Ishwar.
What do you do for your living?
No, 1 second, Colonel Saab, please, 1 second, please. Let me bring in Rahul Ishwar. Let's collect ourselves. 1 minute. Rahul Ishwar, you see, tonight we must call out selectivism. Ek minute, Colonel RSN, 1 second, please, sir, please allow me 30 seconds, please.
Very true.
Rahul Ishwar, today, you see, we need to come together. We need to recognize that politics is actually killing our country, that there is selectivity, that for vote banks, certain people will take up certain issues because it suits their agendas and their political outlook and interest. But the other side goes unrepresented, which is very, very sad. And if you basically question that, then you become a communalist.
Very true.
This needs to change.
Very true.
If people on the liberal side of the fence think that there are others...
Rahul Shivshankar ji, I totally agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rahul Shivshankar ji, I totally agree. That's the unfortunate situation in India. And please let us remember, every human life counts. Every Indian life counts. The issue here is about selectivity. And who is saying this? Leave apart politicians and activists. Kolkata High Court, in an unprecedented move in the history of modern India, back in October 10, 2016, went to the extent of saying Mamata Banerjee's government is playing appeasement politics. Just imagine a situation where High Court of a particular nation High Court of a particular state has to go on record to say that one state government is playing appeasement politics. Shows the intensity and gravity of the situation. This is the realistic thing that's happening. And Bangladeshi infiltration, as we all know, is a huge problem. See, we all have identities. We have to find middle grounds and consensus. We have to find some kind of bridge building exercise. And whenever we think of Muslim brothers, think about Abdul Kalam. Whenever we think about Hindu brothers, think about Gandhiji to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Think about such good icons where we can do some bridge building. But unfortunately, what is happening in Bengal is state-sponsored appeasement and one-sided approach and selectivism. This is the real issue that needs to be addressed, and this also threatens national security. We have to take these things in a very deep manner. Bangladesh is on the other side of the border. ISIS threat and the threats of radicalization is growing. Even in Kerala, such examples are there. So it is time the so-called left liberal parties, TMC, should come out in open and put our nation first and not do appeasement politics.
Yes, Mr. Paracha. You see, look, let's call a spade a spade. Let's begin by calling a spade a spade. I have 1 minute before I take a break. I have 1 minute. And I want you to come out and today admit that there has been selectivism.
I want to come in here.
1 second, sir. 1 second, Mr. Rajagopalan. I'm going to take a short break and come right back. But I just want to bring in a 30-second interjection from you, Mr. Paracha. Keep it to 30 seconds. I want to ask you, do you agree with me when I say that the so-called secular parties have been a bit selective?
Well, I would only say this: secular parties are bound by the constitution to be selective because Dalits, minorities and tribals are oppressed classes and they need protection of law more than any other group. So therefore they are required by the constitution to be selective.
What is the cost of this man in Bengal who has been lynched? Do you know
the majority community does not need special protection.
Everyone is equal before the law, sir.
Because the normal laws are sufficient to give them protection, and law is required for the communities which are oppressed, which are weaker. So you have to understand this. I want to make a second point.
No, 1 second.
That is
1 second. I'm going to take a short break. You can make your point right after the break. We're going to go straight into a break. I come back. I want to play out that conversation once again, which no one is talking about. There is being an effort made, and we will bring in Shreyasi right after this short break. Stay with us. Don't go away. We come back to that conversation. I go back to the reporter. We'll find out what the police have to say about this. Stay with me. Let me once again reacquaint our viewers with the facts. The facts are very simple. That incident that you're seeing has been captured on Facebook by an individual who has been a participant in a march against Hindus in Bashirhat in West Bengal. In this pocket, there has been unrest for the last few days because one Hindu minor put out an inflammatory post. He has been arrested and he is being prosecuted for putting out that post. So action has already been taken against this Hindu young man. In some of the riotous aftermath of that particular FB post, one Hindu man has lost his life. According to his son, that Hindu man has been lynched. He is right now in Kolkata trying to get a case registered against individuals, but till last count, he has not been successful. He is in fact today been sheltered from the media by TMC leaders, some even say MLAs and MPs, who have camped out in the police station and completely squirreled him away from public glare. Our reporters have been trying to get an interview with this man on your screens, but he is not speaking. Luckily for us, before he went into this police station, we managed to speak to him on phone. This is what he said. Listen.
আমি টাইমস নাও থেকে সোহাম বলছি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
বলছি যে আপনি কার্তিক ঘোষের ছেলে তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
তো আপনার বাবা কি এই যে আপনার বাবা কিভাবে মারা গেল?
ওটা কালকে 2টো নাগাদ আমার বাবা আসছিলেন ওই পিফা ওই দিক দিয়ে, ওখানে সে পাইকপাড়া নাগাদ ওখানে আসলে তার আগে ট্যাটা এসে ভাঙচুর করে আমাদের বাড়ি ট্যাটাতে বসিরহাট মিউনিসিপ্যালিটি 20 নম্বর ওয়ার্ডে। উনি আসছিলেন, ওনাকে দেখে উনি পরিচিত লোক।
আচ্ছা,
তারপরে আমরা খবর পাই যে উনি ওখানে পড়ে আছেন, যেতে পারিনি। 1.5 ঘন্টা পরে গিয়ে একটা অ্যাম্বুলেন্সের সাহায্যে ওনাকে তুলে বসিরহাট হাসপাতাল থেকে আরজি করে নিয়ে আসি। আরজির এখানে আজকে 6:45-এ এক্সপায়ার করে।
আচ্ছা, বলছি ওই যারা মেরেছে আপনার কি মনে হয় ওরা জানতেন যে আপনার বাবা এরকম রাষ্ট্রীয় স্বয়ংসেবক সংঘের সাথে যুক্ত?
না, আমার বাবা তো ওসব কিছু করেন না, উনি তো নিউট্রাল লোক।
আচ্ছা, তো কেন মারলেন? কেন, মানে কি দেখে মারলেন?
ওখানে চলছে।
আচ্ছা, তো আপনার বাবাকে কেন মারলেন?
আমার বাবা একদিন।
আচ্ছা, আপনারা কি এফআইআর করেছেন থানায়?
না, থানায় এফআইআর করেনি, সময় পাইনি দাদা। ওখান থেকে গিয়ে হাসপাতাল থেকে আরজি কর।
আচ্ছা, এখানে আপনারা কি এখন থানায় আছেন?
থানায় আছে।
আচ্ছা, আপনারা কি এফআইআর করবেন?
এফআইআর বলতে আমি এখন বডির প্রসেসিংটা কাজ করে শেষ করে দিই।
Let me just go straight across to Tamal Saha, who's been reporting from the ground. So, the young Hindu boy who was 16 years old, who put that Facebook post out, has been already, Tamal, has already been arrested and is being prosecuted. But a young boy who lost his father has not been able to file an FIR till now because the police are waiting for God alone knows what. Why this disparity, Tamal? Is it because there's pressure on the police, or is it because they don't want to actually bring to the surface that this was a communally inspired lynching so that there's no tension?
Well, cops can deny the fact for some time, but then they cannot really deny the truth. The truth is this man was killed yesterday by a mob. Now, we are not in a position to identify the mob, but then if I have to go by the family, I met the family, Rahul, and I have spoken to the wife of the deceased, and she is around 65 years old. She was crying inconsolably, and she said little that she has heard from people while this man, Kartik Ghosh, was coming back to his house. He was identified for his religion, by his religion rather, and even though there were bombs hurled, Rahul, I was there at Paikpara yesterday, and that spot where violence erupted, it was about a kilometer away from Kartik Ghosh's house. There were bombs which were hurled, but then Kartik Ghosh succumbed to his injuries which have been inflicted on him with a sharp weapon. So somebody had targeted him, and the family claims that he has been targeted for who he is and for his religious identity. Even if cops have not taken an FIR as yet, but they cannot avoid the fact that they have to register the case because the body has been taken to RG Corp from where post-mortem has happened. The post-mortem report cannot lie, and if the post-mortem report says that it was a cold-blooded murder, then cops are bound to register the case and thereby take the case forward. At the moment, just to give you a sense of Boshirhat, I've just come out from Boshirhat. Rahul, it's even sad to say the situation is very bad, and all people are complaining that the tension which has now erupted, it is only a fallout of police inaction. On day one, when this violence happened, had police really intervened, even if it meant using lathis to disperse the crowd, a crowd which was actually charging upon the upon people belonging to one particular community in a neighborhood, maybe the situation could have been contained. And these people who are now out on streets, who are burning tires, who are resorting to road blockades, they are saying they will not lift the road blockade, they will go on a war path because they are tired of appeasement politics, and they are saying they want police action against all of them who have perpetrated the violence, who have unleashed the violence, irrespective of their caste, creed and religion.
Well, thank you, Tamal, for that very comprehensive report. I know that you're in a very delicate area, and I would just request you to be careful because you never know. You never know. And we've been extremely responsible here, obliterating the words that are being spoken so that no one accuses us of inciting communal passion. That's not the objective here. The objective is to bring out the selectivity, the discrimination in the approach to fighting communalism, to fighting injustice as a result of communal hatred. And we all need to today as Indians band together, irrespective of whether we are in the TMC, the BJP, the Congress, the left, the BSP, the SP, the, several other left parties, etc. We need to all stand up as Indians first today and say, this is not acceptable. We will lead a community march, a national integration march through the streets of Boshirhat to ensure that justice is done and peace is restored and the confidence of the people in the state apparatus, in the constitution is restored. Unfortunately, that is not happening. That is not happening because it suits certain people to appease a particular community. I want to go straight across to Professor Somnath Singh Roy and R. Rajagopalan. They're both with us. Professor, today is your opportunity. I know you're a TMC supporter to say, yes, we have failed in this one instance. We turned a blind eye to Malda. We turned a blind eye to several other incidents, including the madness of this Maulana Barkati, who said the most vile things against the Prime Minister. But today, we need to stand up for those who are on the receiving end of bigotry in Boshirhat.
Thank you, Rahul. मेरा हिसाब से हमको 8:40 तक यहाँ पर रहने के लिए बोला था. अभी 8:37 हुआ. मैं हर टाइम जानता हूँ जो खबर बनाते हैं आप लोग, खबर दिखाते नहीं है. कैसे क्यों बोल रहा हूँ मैं, खबर बनाते हैं. मैं जब से ये चैनल में आ रहा हूँ तब से बोल रहा हूँ मैं प्रोफेसर नहीं हूँ, फिर भी आप लोग अभी तक हमको प्रोफेसर बना के बात करते हैं. इसका मतलब आप लोग जो दिखाना चाहते हैं वो जो बोलते हैं वही दिखाना चाहते हैं.
कम टू द मेन पॉइंट पर आ जाइए आप.
कब से मैं बोल रहा हूँ
मेन पॉइंट पर आ जाइए.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, मेरा बोलने दीजिए.
मेन पॉइंट पर आ जाइए.
वही तो ना, ये सुनने का आदत है, ये सुनने का आदत ले आइए. मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, पहले से मैं बता रहा हूँ।
नहीं सुनने, आप बोलने का आदत है, आप सच्चाई नहीं बोलते, झूठ बोलते हैं आप। ममता बनर्जी का सपोर्ट करते हैं आप,
एक प्रॉब्लम
झूठ बोलते हैं, झूठ
सुनने का आदत ले आइए।
सोमनाथ सिंह रॉय, सोमनाथ सिंह रॉय, for God's sake, show some decency. A young man is pleading for justice. He's lost his father. And you're saying that we are cooking up stories? I'm sorry, sir. I am sorry you disgust me.
क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? मेरा राहुल सुनना।
I'm sorry you disgust me, sir.
We are sorry, राहुल। जो सबको मालूम पड़ गया अभी नेशनल चैनल का क्या चाहिए। अभी आप लोग बीजेपी को होकर पूरा काम कर रहे हैं। कैसे भी उन लोगों का टारगेट है अभी वेस्ट बंगाल। अभी आपका चैनल,
you are not speaking like a person who keeps the national interest foremost.
झूठ बोलते हैं, माफी तो मांग लो, कम से कम यू से एक्सक्यूज मी करके।
हमको सिर्फ 2 मिनट का टाइम, फिर भी ऐसा कोई आदमी
Whatever is happening in Bengal is an atrocity on Hindus.
यही प्रॉब्लम है। आप लोग बंगाल का बात नहीं करने, एक भी बंगाली
आप तो कंप्लीट कर लीजिए, क्यों बोलते जा रहे हो?
बंगाल में है उसको
कम से कम आप तो बोलो।
ये सब आदमी को बैठा के
सॉरी बोल दो।
ये सब आदमी को बैठा के रखेंगे जो लोग यहाँ पर दंगा बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। दंगा में आप बोलिए ना, कुछ दिन के अंदर यूपी में 153 दंगा हुआ, कर्नाटक में 105, महाराष्ट्र में 105, दंगा नहीं हुआ। वहाँ पर ममता बनर्जी ने सब जगह दंगा हो रहा है। बीजेपी बना रहे हैं और कोई नहीं। 2016 का बाद ये दंगा क्यों हो रहा है? ये
राहुल, आई वांट टू कम इन हियर। राहुल,
से 2014 तक दंगा नहीं हुआ, क्यों नहीं हुआ मालूम है?
भाई उसको छोड़ दो, चुप रहना छोड़ दो। कल गोश्त के नाम पर क्यों हंगामा हुआ है? ये हिंदू को क्यों लिंच किया है? मुस्लिम लिंच के लिए कैंडल मार्च करते थे, अभी क्यों नहीं कर रहे?
उन्होंने सोचा था मोदी का भाषण देकर इलेक्शन जीतेंगे, लेकिन वो वोट 12% में आ गया। 2016 का बाद बीजेपी को लगा ऐसे नहीं होगा, बंगाल में कुछ दूसरा करना चाहिए, दंगा लेकर आया। जैसे यूपी इलेक्शन से पहले दंगा करके मुझे
कहानी नहीं सुनना चाहते, ये कहानी नहीं बोलना आपने।
ऐसे बंगाल में
बिल्कुल झूठा कहानी है।
ओके,
यहाँ पर ममता बनर्जी।
ओके, सोमनाथ सिंह रॉय, आपने बोल लिया। Have you spoken? Have you vented your bile?
नहीं।
Have you vented your bile and your propaganda?
40 minutes.
You're still only concerned about your 2 minutes of fame, is it? There is a man who is begging for the last 8 hours for justice, and you're bothered about 40 minutes. Sir, you're bothered about 40 minutes. There's a man who has been pleading for 8 hours for justice for his father, and you're bothered about your 40 minutes of fame on national TV. You shock me. Sir, you shock me. You shock me. I'm stunned. I'm actually stunned today. You couldn't have the grace, you don't have the grace to empathize with a young man who is pleading on his father's behalf, who is dead, sir, for justice. You don't have the empathy. You see it through such colored political lenses. I'm completely shocked, sir. I don't know what to say. And thank goodness I only came to you in the 38th minute. I thank my lucky stars I didn't begin this show with you, because what a travesty that would have been. We are trying here tonight to build consensus between communities, and you're spreading hate. 1 minute. 1 minute, gentlemen, 1 minute. I want to go across to Mahmood Paracha. Mahmood Paracha, you're a man of the law. And I hope, sir, you will begin by saying, yes, we all need to stand together, that the gentleman who represents the Alliance Against Mob Lynching will stand together with his BJP friends, will stand together with his TMC friends, and they will perhaps go to Bashirhat, hold a candle march, bring the two communities together and campaign for peace. Mahmood Paracha, I hope that is what you're going to say.
See, yes.
I'm going to lower your faders and we are doing that.
But I'm saying something more than that.
Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. But I'm saying something more than that. What is most unfortunate today is that it took this unfortunate incident for the right-wingers and the people from BJP to realize the plight of Dalits, minority and tribals which they face every day.
Speak like an Indian.
Now I request them.
Speak like an Indian, sir.
With the Dalits, minority and tribals.
Today, don't make this about BJP, TMC, left.
No, I am talking like an Indian. Yes. No,
sir, please.
It is.
Please.
They are making it. And
don't do this.
This is the most unfortunate
Don't do this.
part.
There have been arrests in every case of lynching that has taken place, bar one. There has been arrests, bar one, in all cases of lynching. There have been arrests in all cases except for one. So please,
Banerjee
1 minute.
Because she is most vocal against Prime Minister. So what I am saying is, at least now.
Yeah, I know she is. You see, she is so vocal that when Maulana called Barkati, she is so vocal against the Prime Minister that when Maulana called Barkati, said that the Prime Minister's beard must be shaved off. His head must be shaved and his face must be blackened. She didn't say anything. I mean, come on, sir. Come on, sir, today. Come on, grow up. I'm sorry, sir. Stand for constitutionality. Stand for something in your life. I'm sorry, but this is shocking to me. Shocking. 1 second. 1 second.
And we are still trying to rake up issues like Gangtok and Gorkhaland. These are being created to disturb Mamata, which is most unfortunate. So that is what is happening, and let us now, at least these right-wingers and the BJP party people should stand with the Dalits, minorities and tribals and feel their pain for the first time. This is most unfortunate. That is what I am saying. So at least now we should all stand together.
One second.
Against these mob lynchings and the criminals. Yes.
I want to answer to Mr. Paracha.
Yeah, go ahead.
He is trying to raise the bogey of Dalits. Rahul, I would just like to ask, who is the biggest victim of riots? Mostly it is Dalits.
What is happening in
I would like to ask, you are talking about Dalits.
Mr. Paracha, you keep silent.
A Dalit
Listen to the other side.
You are not
by Muslims in Karnataka. He was not a Dalit. Arun Mahor, a Dalit was killed in Agra. He was not Dalit. And you are talking about Dalits. In Aligarh Muslim University, you have done away with all the scheduled caste reservation and provided it to Muslims. And now you are becoming the champion of Dalits. So forget about that. And Mr. Paracha, I would like to ask you, you name the biggest organization which works in the Dalit bastis. You name the biggest organization in the country which works under in the Dalit bastis.
On the country.
It is Seva Bharati, which is RSS.
Stop petty politics.
अरे भाई आप लगातार बोलते जा रहे हैं क्या तरीका भाई? We are not here to listen to your speech.
Okay,
I patiently
Mr.
and now you should hear what I am trying to say.
Because Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi showed you the courtesy of listening to you without interrupting, and you're not allowing him to speak. So you've leveled several allegations, but you've not allowed the other gentleman to speak. I don't know what for. Let the other person speak. You're a reasonable man.
Now can I speak?
Yes, doctor.
Now can I speak, Mr. Paracha? Now, you have reminded about the Muzaffarnagar. I would just like to remind, this is the same situation. In Muzaffarnagar, it started with eve teasing, and then government of Uttar Pradesh, instead of booking the culprits, they have booked the family of victims. And the victim was going here and there from justice, and police was not ready to file an FIR. And even after that, this is a typical characteristic of so-called secular brigade, that after Muzaffarnagar riots, the then UP government tried to give compensation only to Muslims. That was stopped by High Court. In the recently concluding UP election, Kasganj MLA candidate of Samajwadi Party has said कि हमारी सरकार आई तो पुलिस की हैसियत नहीं होगी कि किसी मुसलमान के गिरबान में हाथ डाल दे. What was this? And there was no reaction from Congress party. There was no reaction from Samajwadi Party. This is a typical characteristic. And you represent a section of politics which said that Muslims should have first right over the natural resources of India. And we represent that in Mudra scheme, Prime Minister has said that each and every branch of every bank should give at least one loan to SC, ST and women. This is our commitment to upliftment of Dalits and tribals, rather than making a fig leaf cover and create a communal tension. And I would just like to say one more thing. This is not the first case of Facebook post. In 2012, another incidence of Facebook post in which the pictures were shown as if they were the Rohingya Muslims of Burma killed. And there was a series of riots in West Bengal, in Bihar, in Uttar Pradesh, and even in Mumbai, the Amar Jawan Jyoti was ransacked. Finally, it was found that it was the persons who had died during the cyclone in Thailand. Even if it would have been a Rohingya Muslim from Burma, what was the logic of creating so much of ruckus over there?
One second, I need to come in here. Look, we can continue to politicize this. That's not the idea. We need to bring an end to the politics. Please, gentlemen, I beg you, 30 seconds, please. I need to wrap this up. Let's not politicize this any further. We need a interfaith campaign to heal what is going on in West Bengal. Navika Kumar on the news app, where she confronts TMC, the party that's in power and ruling in West Bengal. Navika.